Should I clap again?
No.
Hi, I'm Saba Haruni Luri. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a board-certified art therapist. I'm the owner and founder of Take Root Therapy, a group psychotherapy practice in Los Angeles, California. Today I'm going to be reviewing some couples in romantic comedies.
No, don't pull that with me. Don't even try to. This is not how you treat your friend.
What I saw in that segment was how difficult it can be in a relationship with someone when you're starting off. Oftentimes our attachment stuff will come up, so we may think we really want a relationship, and when it shows up, it can be really overwhelming.
I like you, Tom. I just don't want a relationship.
Well, you're not the only one that gets a say in this!
And oftentimes, too, we are really clear about what we don't want, and yet we might engage in behaviors or in a relationship that is outside of that realm. So I imagine most of us can really connect with that feeling of, but you're showing me something different. It was confusing to me to hear her say, I don't want a relationship, and then have her show up at this guy's door. So if I had to guess if this relationship was gonna last, I would suspect that it's not just because it seems like they're both on different pages at the go. If one person is saying, I don't want a relationship, and one person is saying, but we're in one, it can be really difficult to move forward from that.
I'm sorry.
Imagine your husband bought a gold necklace and come Christmas gave it to somebody else.
We all want to think that when we're in a relationship, that if we agree to be in a monogamous, exclusive relationship, that that's what it's going to be. And we know from experience, from knowing friends and family, that a lot of infidelity does exist in relationships.
Would you stay, knowing life would always be a little bit worse? Or would you cut and run?
When one has been married for a long time, I don't think that that's necessarily an easy answer, nor is it always the ideal or appropriate answer. So you can see this woman really struggling with, what do I do now? And she's confronting him with that.
I am so in the wrong. A classic fool.
Yes, but you've also made a fool out of me. You've made the life I lead foolish too.
I think there's a chance for them. I think that she was really candid and really vulnerable, and instead of defending himself, instead of writing her off or pretending that she's wrong, he looks like he's also acknowledging the pain that she's feeling and that he's put her in this situation. So I think that if they're willing to work through this, they can.
Rachel, 虽然我认识你的日子不长，可我不能让你毁了我的孙子跟我的家。阿妈。
I remember seeing this movie and having a really strong emotional reaction during the scene, and I can feel it now, this frustration, this anger with Nick's family and their expectations of him and their attempts to really derail his relationship.
I hired a private investigator to look into her past.
Do you have any idea the scandal this would have caused for Rachel to hide something like this?
As someone who's a first-generation American, there's a lot of impact of having a family from a different culture and what they want for you and what they expect and what you may want for yourself. But that's not an easy choice to make. And I think here you can see that he's actually leaving his family. Like, he physically has to run from them and chase the woman that he's in love with. In terms of prognosis for their relationship, he seems to choose her. And in any relationship, that would need to come first.
Seriously, who are these women?
Okay, you know how we have arranged marriage in my culture? These are those women.
These are women in Pakistan who want to marry you?
They're not in Pakistan.
So I think this one's interesting right after Crazy Rich Asians, because in both there's this cultural component. There's a cultural expectation, and it's being confronted by this relationship that doesn't follow said rules.
You're such a liar. Is there someone that you're not lying to? I'd love to meet them, because then I could tell them what a liar you are!
Aren't you a therapist? Aren't you supposed to be good at handling this kind of—
Where are my shoes?
As a therapist too, I really appreciate the part about, like, oh, yeah, we don't have our together, and we're not always going to be calm, cool, and collected, and that doesn't make us any less effective as therapists. So I like that piece too.
You know what we call arranged marriage in Pakistan, Emily? Marriage. My cousin Rehan married an Irish woman and he was kicked out of the family. Nobody is allowed to talk to him.
Having a family that you really care about and you don't want to disappoint, and knowing that you might by making your own choices, is a hard one.
I can't lose my family.
Prognosis, ooh, medium is an answer. I think that they would need to work through a lot And to be asked to sacrifice your family in the name of love is not an easy choice to make. Maybe one is happy but the other isn't, or vice versa.
Just so you know, nothing happened between me and Jen last night.
I'm tired of being second best or fake best.
I don't know how often we really experience these things where we have an agreement, we pretend to something, you know, and then we fall in love. Like, this is one of those times when I think Hollywood maybe misses the mark a little bit about reality. But the idea that we have a hard time trusting our partners, I imagine is pretty common.
Okay, look,
Just leave.
Can we just go inside and talk about this? She asked you to leave, buddy. Wait, this isn't about Jen and me at all. No, this is about you and Josh. You still in love with this Bon Iver wannabe?
You're in love with Josh?
Margot, no.
What a tangled web. Sometimes in a relationship when we get started, we're not always being 100% honest, and then that might come back to haunt us later on.
Peter, go home!
God, you were never second best.
I think what most of us, all of us, want in a relationship is to feel really secure and connected and like we can trust a partner. Prognosis, I think poor. I think it might be hard to recover and be really authentic, really honest, connected in a relationship.
Guess I'll order a pizza.
I'm sorry, Harry. I know it's New Year's Eve. I know you're feeling lonely, but you just can't show up here, tell me you love me, and expect that to make everything all right. It doesn't work this way.
Well, how does it work?
I don't know, but not this way.
How about this way? I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend a day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
I think what we can take, what we can hope for is that in relationships when we have friendship, that's really going to help us be connected, like I was saying earlier, to feel like we can trust, that we're secure, that somebody gets us. How important is it to feel like somebody understands you? And to have a relationship that lasts, feeling understood is so important.
I really hate you.
And also that they can fight and they can recover. We're going to have conflict with partners. It's just a matter of life. But if we can find a way to come back, recover, and laugh and kiss, yeah, that would be nice. Prognosis, I want to say, you know, strong. They have a good, strong relationship ahead of them. That's what I think.
Anyway, it's about old friends.